Welcome to Roots Down Regenerative AF Podcast. I am Jamie Rosenthal, your host. This is going to be a podcast all about real talk on sustainability and urban regeneration. Climate change really sucks, but instead of doom scrolling, we're digging into real solutions. We're here with Zach, Fresh Harvest, HQ, right?
HQ. One of many. No, this is the one.
This is one? This is the one?
The one
Is
HQ,
it?
yeah.
Yeah, this started, how many years ago was Fresh Harvest founded? Like it was
2012. So we're getting old. Yeah.
2012.
Started in 2012. Started with one truck and delivered to my mom and all her friends. And, you know.
So this place has changed. We're going to take a little bit of a tour. We're going to show the audience like what, you know. Hopefully you guys are members of Fresh Harvest. Fun fact, I ran a CSA farm for about a decade. And
so you know what's up. You know what's
I know what's up. I know what's up. I will say though, what you figured out with Fresh Harvest is revolutionary. So tell the audience, what is your model?
Yeah. So the short kind of elevator pitch version is we are the online version of the farmer's market. So if you're here in Atlanta or surrounding cities, if you picture like your closest farmer's market that you go to on a Saturday, picture a lot of those farmers and other vendors and their stuff. And that's what we bring to your house. So yeah, we deliver the produce first, but then also the meat and eggs and milk and stuff like that straight to people's homes. So logistically, what happens here is kind of the handoff, and that's our goal, is just to be the one handshake logistical partner with the farms to expand their market, expand their reach. That was the goal when we first started, was, all right, how do we take this, the local farmers market that's so awesome, and expand the market of those growers that are doing things the right way and crushing it, and just be truly codependent partners with them. So that's been cool.
I think what's really awesome, so I was a grower. I grew, so some stats for you. I grew about 43 varieties of tomatoes, like 30 something varieties of peppers. Like it would have been really nice if I was a farmer that only focused on like greens and tomatoes, right? So this allows farmers to actually, I believe, excel at what they're really good at.
Yeah.
And what their soil is really good at growing.
Yeah.
So instead of growing like everything under the sun, because I had to grow everything, right?
Yeah.
Farmers are allowed to focus on like what they're really good at growing and getting it to market, meaning like getting it to you guys so you guys can sell it for them. I think it's brilliant, and I think it's really, really needed.
Yeah.
Have you seen that? So how many farmers do you guys work for or work with?
Yeah. So on any given week, we'll be texting and emailing and getting availability lists from 20 or so local farmers, like right here around town. But then we're also partnering with folks outside of the state of Georgia too. So we're bringing in things that don't grow here from other great partners as well. And our like key metric for that is 80% of our cost of goods, everything that we buy and sell, is from Georgia. So that's like kind of our lens.
80%.
Yeah, and so the other things that aren't local to Georgia, like bananas, things like that, we're making sure, okay, is this the best partner possible for us? And is this a staple item that people would alternatively go to the grocery store for and then maybe not get their radishes and kale and other awesome stuff then from the farmers we work with as well. So those items are meant to be supportive. And every farmer in our partnership with them is different depending on their needs and kind of size and structure. You know, some farmers we buy from every single week, we crop plan with, and it's, you know, a list of, you know, anywhere from 7 to 17 different items. And then other farms, they hit me up when, hey, it's a bumper crop. I need to move some of this in next week or a couple weeks. And that's kind of the role we fill for them. And then there's all forms in between. And that's the goal. That was the goal when we started, is we want to be, again, an extension of the market that they need to support all the good work that they're already doing. Yeah. So we're not going to be priority one for every single farmer, but because they may prioritize their, you know, markets in town that you're going to, or they may prioritize their restaurant deliveries or whatever. But our goal is to buy from as many of them as possible to be an additional outlet.
Yeah, it's awesome. I want to talk about your, so this local food movement is really part of, I think, urban climate action. Mm-hmm. Like we're in an urban area. Mm-hmm. I think this cuts down on food waste. I think your program really diverts a lot of waste from going to the landfill, right? So like, working at a county level, I see like have you been to Seminole landfill before?
I haven't, no.
I think everyone should go to a landfill in their life.
I've been to a landfill before,
So, and we'll go into ours, was like, really, I was like, oh, well, this is where all my shit ends up. Like, and I think that programs like this that divert food waste really are great. And I think farmers, I always find that like, it's fascinating that farmers should actually get those kinds of local subsidies. Because their food is being like, it's right here within like a 3-mile radius, 4-mile radius. I don't know what's your distance? How far out do you go?
How far do we deliver?
Yeah.
So we deliver all inside like the perimeter of Atlanta, but then surrounding kind of northern counties. Farthest north we go up is probably towards Cumming. We go to Athens, though. We go down towards Peachtree City.
So not far.
It's a strange bubble.
Yeah, it's a strange bubble. Well, it has to be. Atlanta is a strange bubble. Atlanta's a weird ass bubble. Sure. When Peachtree Street goes like this,
For sure.
So yeah, do you guys have like climate messaging? Like, do you guys use any kind of like carbon sequestration messaging or messaging about how you guys are preserving and sequestering carbon and being a good environmental steward?
Well, I think our probably 3 biggest things that we try to embody first and then talk about second with our customers is, number one, like our system doesn't have any food waste in it because of the fact that we have pre-sold everything before it comes to us. So when we place an order with a farmer, if we sold 283 bunches of kale, that's what we buy from them because we know that's what we're going to deliver to our customers the next week.
Gotcha.
So upon ordering, we know we've already sold it, which is sort of the beauty of the model. Like our orders are built in response to what the farmers list and their availability. It's not, we love our customers, but it's not responding to just customer demand, it's responding to farmer availability. So that's kind of the thing we try to stand on there. So yeah, zero waste in the food side because everything in these coolers will be gone by the end of the week.
It's impressive.
The second thing is just saving on trips to the grocery store. Like one of our trucks will make 120 stops. 120 different houses. Well, that's 120 people that didn't hop in their own cars and go drive to all their own different places or multiple places to find different things, So like when you think about it that way, it's just saving, actual vehicle impact.
Are you guys going to start thinking about electrifying your fleet?
I would love to. I think that's definitely on our minds and a goal. I think the key for us, just getting in the weeds a little bit, is an electrified truck that can also power a refrigerator and keep things cold and not die on the side of the road.
Yeah, it's tough.
You're just using a lot of power that way. So, but that would be the goal for sure. And I think it's heading that way. We just need, more built on the kind of infrastructure side.
Yeah, and I think a good partnership with somebody. One of the landscapers we work with, we partner with, electric manufacturer for electric equipment, and then they got partnered with Ford, and they were helping them through that process. I think it's really good, just kind of like partnership relationships to make it, make the needle move.
I feel like Rivian, we should do something. They should build
We're throwing it out
a
there.
Truck that has a reefer on it that we could, we'll be a test case.
Do you hear this, Rivian? Yes, Rivian.
For
let's
sure.
Let's do it.
They're doing it for other people, right?
Let's do it. And if you want to put a logo on it, right?
Yeah,
a Fresh Harvest logo on it.
Yeah. So that hopes and dreams there for sure.
That would be so dope, though.
But there's smarter people working on that than me. We just move vegetables around. But then I think I said 3 things. So the third thing is our packaging. So we reuse all of our packaging. So if you see the green bins around and the insulation foils and stuff like that, we bring it back, and they're not here anymore, but the crew is cleaning some of that stuff up and sanitizing for the next day. If you're a customer, you get a reusable bin, you got to leave it out the next week. We do the same thing with all the ice packs that come in your order, and then anything that is not reusable is home compostable. I need to find a bag, and I can show you.
We should do that.
But they're home compostable bags that like at our house, we reuse them for veggie storage in the fridge. But then you can compost them in your backyard kind of stuff, not send it off to a bigger facility.
And it's plastic?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's like a veggie base,
Maybe I didn't know this. You should show us. We should take a look in this really cool cooler, which by the way has awesome artwork on it. Who did this artwork for you?
Our pal and previous delivery driver, Willis, he did a lot of the art around here for us. He's now doing more art stuff. He doesn't deliver anymore for us. But,
well, he's doing the good work.
Oh, yeah. Willis is the man.
I assume that's a green zebra tomato?
It's whatever you interpret it to be, I think.
It could be a baby watermelon?
I mean, you got some turtles over here, too. If you walk that way, you got, like, stars and a campfire. It's just whatever he was feeling.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah.
So do we want to walk inside and show us?
Sure, yeah,
show
we
us
can
around?
show.
Is this where you find people on a hot
hanging
summer
out
day? Oh, broccoli.
So maybe here's a couple little examples. First of all, our farmers, a lot of them will deliver in reusable totes as well. So you can see Crystal Organic Farm, this was 50 mint. Here's the harvest date. We know all these are already sold, So tomorrow we're going to pack them. Tomorrow and Friday, Wednesday. Tomorrow and Friday, these are all going to get packed in orders. And at the end of the week, we won't have any left. Milesberry Farm, we're getting strawberries this time of year. We're getting some of the shiitakes from J. We're getting some of the broccoli from Berry Farm. Yeah, each week, all this stuff is gone by the end.
It's impressive.
Yeah.
Yeah, I couldn't imagine moving this much produce.
Yeah.
What's the hottest item you move?
Let's see. I mean, it just depends on the season. Like next week, it'll be the first week of Georgia blueberries.
Yeah.
So that'll be the hottest item next week. A bunch of farmers, you probably know this, had some issues with actual getting their starts this year. So having to overcome a strawberry struggle. But
strawberry struggles for real.
For real. So yeah, those are some popular ones right now. And then, like I said, we sell all the other grocery stuff. You could, scroll through our website each week. You're going to see different things.
Yeah, I love that. So how did you guys bridge relationships with Montane Water and how did those things come about?
At the beginning of Fresh Harvest, it was begging, because we didn't have any orders yet. Yeah, it was little bits. And so it's man, am I really going to work with these guys? Are they really going to pay me? But I think one thing we pride ourselves on and is so important, especially if you do something like what we do, which is buying direct from farms, paying upon delivery, paying on time to the people who are actually making your product is key. So that's something we've always tried to do, is just be cash flow dependent for farmers and budget dependable, so that that partnership is healthy.
Yeah, because you got both. You're getting paid. You're
for
you're
sure
paying out. It's
for sure.
It's got to be a well-oiled machine.
Yeah, and I mean the reality is the risk is all in the farmer's hands. Say carrots, you plant way ahead of the time where you have any income coming off that product, and so then, in my opinion, as soon as that product, if I'm the farmer, as soon as I hand that over to somebody else, say Fresh Harvest in this situation, I deserve to get paid. And so, because I've taken the risk for the past weeks and months.
That's right.
And so now, it's on any buyer, Fresh Harvest specifically, but if any buyers in any other industries, to pay quickly. And I know that's different for different terms and different companies and all that, but I think in general, we can do better. The farmers deserve to get paid as soon as they show up.
Hell yeah. I love that.
I think it's important. So
yeah, super important. Because they're struggling. Especially the small farmers. I don't mean to make this a PSA, but being a small farmer, I realized, I got my sister in the background and she'll tell you I was running Wolf Scratch and it was paycheck to paycheck.
Yeah.
I mean, there was no subsidies. And there's no subsidies really set up for small farms. Right. And they rely on their customers and they rely on those, when a restaurant would drop me, it was awful. It was the worst thing that could ever happen. Mm-hmm. So I find you guys become such a consistent, reliable partner to the farmer, mm-hmm. which is so important in the ecosystem.
Yeah.
And the local food movement really, I think, really depends on more partners like y'all.
Yeah. Well, and I think the key to that is it starts with the customer. It starts with the person actually eating the food. I mean, it's our job to make sure the food is good when it shows up.
Right.
But if the more customers that are committed to eating this way, the more resilient the whole system becomes. And so Fresh Harvest with 50 customers and 100 customers and 150 customers is way less dependable and resilient than Fresh Harvest was 10 and 20 and 100 times as many.
Yeah.
You know? And so literally this system doesn't work without people saying, yep, I'm going to buy again next week. Yep, I'm going to buy again next week.
Yeah. So you become the PR and marketing engine for the farmers, really.
Yeah.
It's kind of the way that works.
Dependable, committed customer base is the only thing that like Fresh Harvest can take credit for, because that's what makes us be able to follow through. And
is there an acronym for that?
We'll come up with one. It needs
I'm surprised you don't. Like every corporate talk is like there's like a PDAASM, and you're like,
can't you tell we're really corporate?
I'm like, oh God.
There's a.
What did you say? Yeah. I sit around, I'm like, and I try to guess at what the acronym was. I'm like, I'm not getting it.
Yeah.
Well, so do you want to show us? You showed us earlier. You want to show us the other room? Like the packaging room. I mean, just.
Sure.
So let's take a quick break to thank our sponsors. First and foremost, new sponsor and really good dear friends of mine, the MicroLife Institute. I want to say thank you, Will Johnston. They're all about less space, more life. I just want to say thank you so much, Thomas Billups from Billups Homes. He is the real deal. Yes, builders are getting in the game to fight for climate action. We will give all these links and let you guys get a hold of these people so you can see the great work that they do. Thank you, sponsors, for season 2.
So we pack everybody's order the morning of delivery, and it gets loaded on the trucks through those doors. But when we're packing those in the mornings, they're getting packed in here, and then they're loaded off route by route straight onto the truck. Yeah, our crew deserves so much just credit and appreciation from myself, the people buying it. I mean, there's people starting early, and
I hear through the grapevine
that
you guys are a kick-ass company to work for.
I hope so. I mean, there's only so much good work you can do without like the great people doing it. Like you can't survive very long. Not like we've been around forever, but you can't even survive this long if it's not at least a decent place to work. I mean, work's a bummer for everybody sometimes. It's work. I think that's okay. But, we got to be a great place to work. We spend too much time here to not have a good time,
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Very, very awesome.
So this is a green tote everybody's getting their deliveries in. Allison won't mind me opening this up. She ordered some eggs. She got some green garlic. You've got your promotion of the supplier of the week. Blueberries coming next week. Happy Earth Week, little shindig. Hey, and this cute little postcard.
I know, I saw that. That's sitting on my counter right now. It's like,
Isn't that great?
This is like really important. Part of the continuing education.
I think so.
Like, and I don't know, you guys do all the marketing for this?
Yeah, so we work with big shout out to the folks at Family Bros, their team, Elizabeth, Alvin over there. But so they do a ton of our most recent kind of fresh update. They do a lot of this and help us with it. But then Paula and Joe, like our crew, is deciding like, man, how are we getting the message out there? And okay, let's do a postcard that you could send to your friend or hang on your fridge. But then okay, next time let's do, a monthly harvest heads up. Like here's what's coming next month. So we're doing different things like that. But yeah, that's all that kind of stuff.
That's great.
It's new every week.
Good marketing.
Yeah, for sure.
Fresh marketing
for sure.
Fresh Harvest.
Gotta keep it happening.
It's good. It's really good. It works.
Yeah.
It got me back in, and I'm like excited to cook again. Like I'm now like cooking my meals with intention and like purpose now. Like I'm like want to elevate my shit. It's just like so much better. Just all like if I'm getting like greens from you guys, I'm like, oh, I remember when I was growing collards. Like they look like this.
Yeah.
I love that
for sure. Well, and I feel like there's a healthy amount of like conviction and push in this system to the customer. So like our family, we get a box every week, but what we know is we got to eat all this because we have another box coming next week. And so like, how are we going to use the green garlic? Let's get creative. Let's make sure we use it before next week. Because otherwise, what are you doing? You're eating, out on the road between kids' soccer games, or you're like, grab and go and stuff that you don't want to be eating anyway. So I feel like the extra nudge towards the weekly commitment is what ultimately is good for us. I know it's hard. You got to juggle it sometimes. You got to skip sometimes, but That helps.
I think it's great. I mean, I talked to I live in the Modera apartments, and I even talked to them with like, we talked earlier about the corporate engagement. Like, it'd be really cool to get your box and then do a cooking demo.
Oh yeah.
Like, and I love that. That's what I used to do, is cook for all of my family and friends. We used to do chili cook-offs, and I made a pizza. I love pizza so much, I built a pizza oven on my farm as like a promotion for the vegetables.
That's awesome.
And like, it works. Like, when people see you do something and then they can demystify the process, they're like, oh shit, I can do that. I can make a green garlic mayonnaise. Like,
totally.
To use that green garlic, and it's gonna elevate the shit out of my burger.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
it's fun.
Yeah, I love it. I've really gotten back into it. I'm like, okay, what's next? What are we gonna do next?
Yeah.
But yeah, it's awesome. So
our process is really simple. Like, there's a little bit of, I'll call it high tech. It's high tech for us behind the system. Like, as an order comes down, there's different lights that light up, and you got to pick the right color to the order just to help us be faster. But ultimately, it's pretty simple. I think what's unique about our system is kind of what you were saying at the beginning. It's a CSA, but with customization and flexibility that understandably one farm can't do on their own.
That's right.
So every single order that we pack every week is totally different. So we've got to have a system for making sure we're putting the right thing in the box.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
So do we want to step back out here?
Yeah, sure. A little chilly in here.
Yeah. I saw a walk-in cooler that has a big, huge Christopher Walken.
Oh my gosh, that's amazing.
And it's somewhere. I've seen it maybe a couple times. I was like, Christopher Walken.
We need to steal that.
That would be a good.
We need a new door anyway.
It might be lost on some people though.
But that's kind of what makes it even better, is when like it's only occasionally. Yeah, I think so. A stencil of it, like life size.
That would be really dope.
Sure.
That would be really dope.
For sure.
Anything else interesting you want to show us, or?
I guess other grocery stuff we could show. So I mean, we're doing soaps and dried herbs.
This is like a really granola hippie ass grocery store, right?
Exactly. Here. Yeah. And then we've got koozies too.
Oh my god.
Koozie for the road.
I need to buy a hat from you guys. I will rep you guys.
Yeah, man, get you a hat. But yeah, I mean, so again, we could walk in the freezer, but I'll spare you. There's all the different.
Yeah, please spare me.
Yeah, there's all the different cuts of meat as well, and awesome bakery stuff. Again, just great suppliers, what they have, and trying to represent that well.
That's awesome. Mm-hmm. Yeah, you guys are the real deal, and you're doing an awesome job. I think I'll say to the audience out there. PSA. My wife and I decided because convenience is everything. We were shopping at Whole Foods. It was horrible. I will call it out. Yeah. But since this current administration, this current election has changed my mindset on everything. Like, we have to protect our local businesses.
100%.
So we stopped.
Yeah.
And now we get you guys and we get the rounds, and we absolutely love it.
That's awesome.
I hope that other people that watch this are like, hey, let's demystify the process. Like, it's fresh food. You got a support group. You got somebody that can help you break these things down and cook them. You can always give me a call. I'll give you some information on it. But like, using fresh ingredients, the closer we get to whole foods ingredients, the healthier we are. The better we are able to fight for good climate action. I feel like it's all correlated, right?
For sure.
It's all correlated.
Well, I think the resiliency of the local food movement has been shown so many times, whether that's like current state or, back in 2020, like when pandemic stuff started happening, and like that was such a hard time, but a beautiful time for like the systems that supported local food and the consumers that wanted it, and so I think that's a big deal. My best pal, Yvonne Chenard, who started Patagonia, I'm just kidding, because I would love to be friends with him and go fly fishing. No, maybe someday. But he has a quote that I think about often. I'm not going to get exactly right, but he talks about how regenerative organic agriculture is like the way that we right the wrongs of, the food system, but also like larger climate issues and stuff like that. And he even says, and the reason I literally wrote it on my office wall was because it's like, whoa, this is very fresh harvest, and I feel like, man, at least he believes in what we're doing. He's like, start with replacing the larger, bigger, long distance travel food systems and replace it with neighborhood support and neighborhood delivery that connects people with farms. He's got a couple awesome books, but I think that was in Let My People Go Surfing. And and man, that obviously that's the lens that we have, and that's what we're trying to do is say, hey, there is great food here. There we can support the dirt underneath our feet by just making a few choices a little differently. And the impact of it's huge because you got to eat every day, you know?
That's right.
So you can make a difference every day.
Well, that's also, I say this a lot, that's the one commonality we all share.
No, yeah.
Unless you're crazy ass alien.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, yeah, think about
We all eat.
how different it is when you recognize how many things we have in common and how many things we have different. Like, and it's just easier to do if you're sharing a meal with people. I think we're built that way.
Yeah.
To understand each other via a table and food, you know.
I had some good tacos with my brother that I haven't talked to in a long time.
There you
He was a Republican.
Yeah.
My
brother.
And we just had good tacos, and we shared a great conversation around good food. And
That's huge.
That's a connect. That is a very big connector. So,
oh yeah, and such is life, like for all of us.
Yeah.
You know? I mean, Fresh Harvest. The whole idea started with being on a farm on the coast of California with my cousin, who I was like, hey man, can we stop at your place? We were on this trip, and then harvesting from the farm and eating it that night with a bunch of people we didn't know, having a couple of Sierra Nevadas, and it was like, man, this is. There's more going on here than just some sustenance. And so it's like, man, how do we bring that back to more people at home, you know, in Georgia? And so that's literally where it kind of all inspiration-wise originated from.
The origin story.
Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah.
Well, you've been a great guest on the podcast. And
thanks for coming out.
Love your product.
Thanks
So I will shill your product anytime.
Yeah. Hey, just keep eating, you know?
Keep
That's all
eating.
you gotta do.
That's all I got to do. Stay in business. Just keep eating.
Yeah.
Well, thank you, Zach. I appreciate you being on the show. And this is Roots Down Regenerative AF Podcast. Like and love Fresh Harvest. Where do they find you?
Freshharvest.com.
That's it.
You know, just go there. All the other social places, I'm sure we're there too.
Yeah. Follow along. The revolution is here. And if we want to start really focusing on local and sustainable shit, get involved with these guys. It's really awesome. So peace out. Like, subscribe, and share. Do it like your planet depends on it, because it kind of does. Let's build better cities together and join the urban regenerative movement at rootsdownga.com.